This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Link Up Podcast with your hosts, Mistuh King, Kana Woods, and Rashid here in the building.
Yo, Wagwan, Popcorn.
Still no Kalissa, she's busy away in the sun and enjoying life and all of them things. So
she'll be back soon.
Yeah, she'll be back soon.
Warm.
So make sure
joining
to
us
look
in
forward.
the cold.
Yeah, sadly.
Yo, it's cold, dog.
Yeah.
No, but it get cold the last like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yo, it misty as fuck to you. I can barely see it in front of me.
But it look like a horror movie outside itself. But before we start going into tangent already, I just want to shout out everybody that listened to the last episode.
Indeed.
It was long as hell, but everybody that approached me was like, yo, y'all make me laugh. That was a good episode. That's topics we more people should be talking about, this and that, whole bunch of thing.
Got a couple reviews about the topic saying like, yeah, that was a good discussion and thing, like the last one stuff.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, a couple people hit me up
That's
and say
dope.
like they really enjoyed the conversation and they felt like, it's beneficial, not just entertaining, but also like beneficial. Like this is things, conversation, like you say, conversation that need to happen more and thing.
Yeah.
And it's and people who I don't really talk to on a regular basis like that, people who I didn't even know to watch the podcast. So I was like, okay, that's much appreciated. So shout out to everybody that make it through the whole thing.
Cause good, just say that lets us know at least they listen to all of it.
Or they skip.
Also possible.
Or they
It's
skip.
weird to skip though. Like,
I guess that's for the people that know it was there, that know like
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
told
I guess
us.
that's true.
Yeah.
But just because I just always say to the end, and it makes no sense to say that. And don't forget, people, you can also listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and practically anywhere else that you listen to podcasts.
As well as there's timestamps in the description, so if whatever topic you feel is most interesting, you can skip to that or skip ahead or be like, all of that. Choose what you want to listen to, basically.
And don't forget to leave comments if y'all have any comments on the
feedback, anything.
Yeah, and that's specifically for you, Rahima.
Don't make me laugh. I'm start coughing and shit. Because if for those who might not realize, like I'm sick and I'm like in the height of the sickness and thing like that still. So,
But shout out to Rahima. Every episode she'll come in and they talk to me and they comment on some of the things we say. She'll leave like a whole like
point by point, bullet point analysis.
I really appreciate it. But do it in the comment section, Rahima. Jesus Christ.
Nah.
King of death this episode.
That's why I say y'all better talk. I'ma just moderate and try to topic out there. Y'all could go ham on it.
But yeah, so again, shout out everybody that listen and support and share and post and all that kind of things. It really
much
seems just the whole cutting up of the YouTube videos on Facebook really does make a difference as well. So yeah, big up to you.
And like while we doing all that, let's just get some other plugs out there. We make sure you listen to the Mistuh King LP that is out now on not all streaming services still, because it upsetted me too. I know, because I still can't listen to it Untitled.
Alright, we will get into that.
Make sure listen to the Mistuh King LP that's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, and iTunes. I think so far it's a couple other places
YouTube
as well.
Music.
But yeah, YouTube Music. I know that's like this man.
Yeah, might as well
That's
be a
what's
fucking
taken.
sponsor.
By your ambassador of the brand.
Yeah, it's that.
yo, you could watch a video on YouTube and you could close the app and the video still plays.
I know that sounds great.
It's amazing.
I'm sure there's ways around it.
I mean,
If you had like an illegal app or something, but we getting distracted.
Yeah, that's a whole other something.
people with Apple don't know about illegal apps. So.
Fair enough.
Point.
Shade at all the Apple people.
There's no shit. At least
Come forward in the
at least our apps is official. We know they ain't got no kind of issues with it.
Listen, my Android
Any
shit
other
is work
plugs?
fine. I'm just ask that, yeah.
Nah, I good.
No club vibes and things.
By holding them down on that for now.
Yeah.
All right.
Every Monday, curious.
Oh, yeah, what's going to do that?
So if you have nothing to do on a Monday, you live in Amsterdam, or you're in Amsterdam on a Monday, you come by.
We went last night. Well, I specifically went last night because it was to be there all the time. It was dope. It was very entertaining. I ain't laughed that much in a while.
And you also got the Aruba Dag.
The 14th of February, we have Aruba Festival, Valentine's Edition. Getting ready for Aruba Dag self. So come true.
The 14th is what day?
It's the 14th is a Saturday, I think.
I don't even know why I check it. Like I don't have to work. You know.
14th is Friday.
Okay.
February 14th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I seen it February 14th. Yeah.
4th is Friday.
I think I seen that because for me, when I start playing, it's officially Saturday.
I feel you.
Okay. But yeah, true. And that'll be where.
In Den Haag.
Definitely ain't seen me.
It's in a big place.
Okay.
It ain't always in Den Haag pretty much. The Aruba Day celebration is always in Den Haag.
Yeah. Den Haag sometimes it's been only in Den Haag.
The places where the Antillians are like a large population or percentage. Yeah. Also, one other thing I wanted to say, at the end of this episode and from now on, like for a while, at the end of every episode, you're going to be hearing one of the songs off of the Mistuh King LP playing at the end. So for those who haven't heard the project yet, stay tuned to the end of the episode. You'll hear one of the songs. So, hopefully you like it. It tempts you or interests you to go and listen to the full project and, find your favorite songs. So you can let me know your feedback, tell me what you think of it and all of that.
If you play the track in reverse, there's subliminal messages in it.
No, that's Lil Wayne. I Feel Like Dying. Not Mistuh King LP.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Okay, Woods. Jesus Christ. All right,
so you ever heard that? Like the I Feel Like Dying playing backwards and there's supposedly a demonic message in it, and like the sample, it says something like "we are on the ground beneath you," so it is kind of creepy. Like it sounds kind of creepy.
That was like if you I ain't getting into that. But all right, our first actual topic, Rashid gonna lead this one out because
we start with me.
Yeah.
Starting off strong, boy.
You started off. The man was completely unprepared for that.
No, because I hear taking notes now.
So this man whole schedule
completely unprepared. While King trying to assess himself.
I'm just hoping don't pay attention to me.
All right.
If I'm having a disability or something.
So this past week, I was just thinking on my life when I was younger, back in Simat and stuff like that. And this random thought came back to me of how I possibly had a predator encounter.
That's a little disturbing.
Yeah. And I say possibly because I can't confirm it. I don't know. I dodged that shit. But I'll tell you all the story. So back when I was young, I want to say 14, 15, maybe 13 even, I used to rap. I used to make music with some friends, and we would perform talent show and all of that. And backstage, you would have people taking pictures, and then later on, you got the pictures and whatnot. So they had this one guy who used to take the pictures, and he was like, yo, I need contact from someone so we could get the pictures to y'all. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give you my contact, because I was the head of the group, so to speak. And you contact me, I send the pictures to the rest. Right? So talent show finish, days go by, homie contact me. And he was like, all right, I got the pictures for you. I said, cool, send them through. He sent the pictures, I got them, whatever. More days go by, and he's still talking to me. Right?
Okay, but how he talking to you?
He's just talking normal, just like a friendly conversation. Hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Right? And then I remember this one time I was walking home from school, because I live close enough. I was walking home from school, and I saw him in the car passing by going to pick up his child. Right? He hailed me and some friends up. I was like, yo, I remember you from, taking the pictures and whatnot. It's like, all right, cool. Reach home. I see you today. That was you? Yeah. What you was doing over there? You had going to pick up my child. Anyways, days go by. Contact me again. Say something along the lines of, oh, we should hang out sometime. I am 14, 15. I was
and this is like a grown man.
Yeah, grown man, child. I think St. Dominic or something like that. Anyways, he said, we should hang out sometime. And I was like, what? I am 14, 15 years old. Why you want to hang out with me?
Yeah, that was a little funny.
Yeah. So I thought that at the same time as well. Like, why would you want to hang out with me at 14, 15 years old? He was like, but we's friends, right? I said, no, we're not friends. And this is back in BBM days, huh?
Laughing hurts.
Blackberry days. I said, no, we're not friends. You just happen to be somebody that sent me the pictures from that one time at the show. So after that encounter, I was like, yo, this is weird. I gonna delete this number on my phone.
You ever tell anybody about it?
No.
Tonight the
I
first
ain't
night.
tell Nobody. I ain't tell nobody about it. I just deleted the number and forget about it because it was like this past week that I remember, like years later.
Probably the best idea.
Yeah.
Forget about that. I ain't telling my parents don't know, and it would have made sense for me to tell one of my parents. Why? Because my father's a police officer.
Yeah, that would have kind of made sense.
I was looking out for myself at the time. I was like, yo, I dodged the bullet. I don't gotta worry about that. In retrospect, I should have told somebody.
But that...
You all ever had a similar situation?
I hear thinking... Nah, no. Not that I was aware of, at least.
I had a situation that I don't... In a way, I think we had talked about it on our podcast, but like super long ago. I think I recall saying like it was a time in Holland, basically, like where I was going to the office of like the housing corporation from this apartment complex I live in. I forget what it was. I had some big business I had to regel over there or whatever. And like as I stepping off the tram, this is like at Amsterdam Centraal. I stepping off the tram, I see this like big dude like taller than me, like kind of sizable, like fat and thing like that. But I noticed him like watching me and stuff. And then I ain't really dig no scene. I go in about my business to go to this place and thing. Dude he started up a conversation. I don't remember how he started up the conversation. Cause I was like, after we get to where I was going, I'll get off at the tram stop and I start walking. Like, he get out at the same spot. So then turn around, like, oh, you was on over there, I see you. And then we kind of start getting to some kind of conversation where he asked me, like, where I'm going. I was like, yeah, going here. But I ain't sure exactly how to find it. And because I don't remember it was the first time going to the office or whatever. So I was kind of like using the GPS or whatever. So maybe he had seen me looking a little lost or something. And then he decided to use that as his way in. But dude was definitely like super creepy and was like, yeah, I go in the same place too, coincidentally. And like while we inside the place, the dude just staring at me like the creepiest stare you could ever imagine. Like, man, not taking his eyes off of me. And I'm like, I just trying to disappear because of this man.
That's a weird ass feeling.
I think that was the closest I ever come to being a pretty girl.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the closest feeling.
I gotta be honest, I don't like it. I do not like it. I don't like it.
But with homie, it was a weird thing because this dude was bigger than me. It's like, so I definitely felt a little kind of
but that's
intimidated, like a little scared. Like, I don't know how fast this man gonna follow me because like
imagine being a small pretty girl. And having to live with that fear like constantly.
Because after I was done, and there's no time for me to go home and shit.
But just a girl in general.
Dude waiting with me by the tram stop and stuff like that, talking to me. I'm like, I just trying to get on my tram thing, and then when it come, he's still engaged in conversation. So like, I couldn't just like leave, so I missed the tram, and now I kind of upset.
Now you sick? You sick?
I understand, not cause me. I trying to avoid problems, and I don't know if like I just
you sick?
Not bigger than me that.
Exactly. You're trying to reach getting that.
I would wait until the tram is almost leaving and then run straight into the front.
Fuck, I cut the conversation exactly with it. Hey, I gotta go. See you later. See you next time.
That's a weird experience.
I don't think
I never had it with him. I never had it with him, man.
No, you see that's the thing.
In the store.
Yeah, but you see that was work. So like
your reaction.
I can't.
Yeah, but you did.
But as I said, that was the only time it was ever that strong. So that's why I say in like around Rashid, if we're talking about like when we was 14, 15, like I never had that. I never was aware or anything. I was probably around them, but like it was the fellows that had like the little girls. I had it,
but with a lady. So I don't know. Like it's still like if you look at the age difference,
it's still a predator. I never had that either.
What the age difference was?
I would.
How old were you? How old was she?
I was like around 14, 15. She had to be like around 40.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's grown.
That could have been your mother.
Yeah.
Other than that one experience I had at work, I never... And that was hella uncomfortable. But I'd say that story on the podcast as well. I didn't really feel
like bringing that back. That same story that I was telling on to me was like in that same conversation that I had mentioned that before.
It's very possible.
But I don't know. For those listeners that might have missed that episode, whenever that was, because that was like a while back.
Yo, we are like, this is what, episode 107. I cannot tell you which episode that was.
Yeah, neither me.
Just go back and look at the description.
Episode. It's in the catalog.
Go look for it.
And it was just weird because at the time, I remember hearing stories, some story about another child around my age being in such a similar situation where he actually get touched by a grown man. So like that was in my head kinda. So when that whole thing was happening, I was like, yo, this ain't about to be me. Dodge this.
But yo, and I was gonna say for a fella, especially growing up in Samantha, it would have been difficult to like come out and say something. But for anybody, for girls too, for anybody in that situation,
there's all kind of shame and guilt and feelings like that associated with being harassed or raped or whatever it might be.
But yo, it never happened to me. But I have a lot of close people, like a lot of female friends, has been assaulted or.
Yeah, that's way too common. Like that's a whole other conversation.
That whole other thing. But the thing is with that
the amount of female friends I've talked to,
it's very few of them that actually come out and say something, and I find that really sad because like I would love to kick in somebody's teeth for some of the girls that had told me these things.
I hear what you're saying, but it's like I said, there's a whole bunch of guilt and shame and people feeling like, yo, but that's depending on who you talk to. If you do talk to anybody, feelings of like, yo, it was your fault. So why you?
But you see that, but that's what I mean is I find it's a shame that people that it reached to a point where people don't feel comfortable enough to open up and say something like that to somebody.
Like, that's
because they would get shamed for it.
Yeah, Jed, that's
like that's why in a way the whole Me Too movement for me wasn't surprising because like. Just from conversation, like if a female feels close enough to you or comfortable enough to you, like it's crazy how many of my female friends have told me they either been raped, sexually assaulted from like times.
It's disturbing.
Girls walking on feet, like walking on the sidewalk and dudes on a feet spot, spank their ass and keep going.
Yeah, or in the club,
that's crazy.
Like the majority of girls I talk to regarding club, they just kind of embrace it and know that if I go club, man will feel me up.
Like, that's
wild. Just kind of the point where it is now. Like
that's wild.
Dudes moving through the crowd, and because it's a crowd, use the excuse to be like, let me get cop a feel and shit like that. All of these things is like way too common for me to have heard from different females. Like, and then, like I say, it's for me in that time it was like mind blowing because it was like, yo, I never thought I would have never imagined. And then it's like the way you carry yourself and how you are. Like, I never know you had that secret and stuff like that. And that's why it's like the amount of people that also carried the same secret or similar one in some form is like the Me Too movement wasn't surprising. Like people just don't talk about it, but
that
women just finally starting to talk about it.
That's just I find out something that got changed, and the men got to talk about it too because it happened with the fellas too. It's just that because everybody got this whole macho stigma of how a man's supposed to be and all that kind of crap. They like look at Terry Crews, a whole bunch. Imagine somebody as big as him. I mean, okay, cool. Granted, when it happened, he probably wasn't as big as he is. But you could imagine
he was because it was in Hollywood. It was a Hollywood dude that it was a situation with a dude while taking a photo shoot. Dude grab his ass or like while taking a picture type of thing. Dude put his hand around and grab his ass or had grabbed his dick at some point. We were talking about this with his name.
Dick.
Shamoni when he was on the podcast, so you had touch on the Ted Cruz thing and he was joking. There was a lot of jokes in that episode.
No, but that's wild. But I can't imagine somebody being so like who looks so physically dominant get taken advantage of like that.
Man must have had a lot of power.
Basically,
but
I'm an actor. Like, do you want to be in movies?
Yeah. I don't know, but like
livelihood or your pride, which one more important? Like being able to feed your family or your pride because you box off this man or something?
That's a tense situation to be in for real. I don't like logically I would want to say I'll feed my family, but emotionally by a box off gonna come.
You gonna box on Satan?
But yeah, that's Satan in that. That's Satan in that point. No, but that's is messed up to think about, Judd. That anybody that I had lost for words to be quite honest. I don't know where to fully
rape, assault, all of sexual misconduct. It's a fucked up situation. Of
course. Yep.
I think that's the one thing we can all agree on, whether it's male, female, or whatever.
But yeah, male, female, young, old, ugly, pretty. It should.
Non-binary.
I don't think they identify as it.
I think. Or them, they or them or something like that. But
I don't know.
Either way, it shouldn't happen to anybody, Jet. And what it was, a thought we were having a conversation with a group of friends. I was like, but yeah, being a guy and having guy friends or hearing stories from other fellas, is more like, if I have to have a daughter, I would more be like, okay, look, this is how the world is. You have to expect this and this and that. If you do certain actions, this and this and this and that are going to happen. But that's real fucked up. Lord, I say I must stop cussing so much. That's real tense, because why I have to train my daughter that way when other people ain't training their sons to like,
because you have no
keep
control.
their hands to themselves.
You have no control over them or how they train their child.
Basically.
Yeah.
You have so unfortunately you would have to raise your daughter in such a way that she's aware of these type of things, because the world is the way it is.
Well, not even my daughter, like
your son.
That's further on. I got goddaughter, I got a little sister. It's like, these are kind of conversations I have to have with them, and I find that's real tense, because it shouldn't be just one. I shouldn't have to prepare. I should have to tell my girl child that, yeah, the world is fucked up for you, and you have to be able to accept it and maneuver around it. And that's just how it is.
And I just remember a conversation I was having with the wifey when she told me she don't use the ATM at night. And I was like, what nonsense are you, like, what? I never once stopped to think, okay, it's nighttime, let me not use the ATM or any, like, if I need money, I'm going to the ATM. If it's nighttime, if it's daytime, whatever. But it's like, just things like that is like the extra precautions that females just take. That, because it's like, the way, like we were saying in the last episode, the way society treats you and what is expected of you and all these things is just different as a man and a woman. It's like, it's difficult for me to prepare my daughter for the world as a female and what she can expect and how the world is going to treat her and shit like that as a female, when I never experienced that. Same for the opposite sex. It's like, my mother can't teach me or train me for all what might be necessary to grow up in the world as a man. She grew up as a female. She knows how to handle herself and deal with problems and solve problems or whatever in a female body.
But that ATM thing is a 10 something for real, because somebody tried to rob me by the ATM and now
after 11 you can't cash out money in the ATM.
It's not as well, so, like the news article where they're making it so that ATMs just don't work in the night, basically.
After 11 it doesn't work anymore.
Until 6 or something like that.
When I'm going to start, because I know I take out money like 5 o'clock in the morning a couple of days ago.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but according to me, it's like, how long is it? It wasn't until like 6 or something?
Yeah.
That they like shut down until then, generally, when like shops and,
it wasn't even
different
exactly,
things
it was
open.
between like 4:35. Between 4:30 and 5. This was when we went up. For what's that? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday, because I was supposed to work, but I didn't work that day. So yeah, Saturday. And I take out money. But if that's the case and they're doing that, it's a good thing at one hand, but again, it's tense that we have to make these precautions because of society and people don't know how to friggin' behave themselves.
It's unfortunate, but
Do
that's
you
what it
think
is.
that has something to do, like, I'm not going to make an excuse for anything, but I was just reading a book recently and how we as humans evolved and became what we are today, but then we still have like certain things.
Animalistic instincts.
Yes. And
our reptilian brain and all of these type of things that kind of keep our base motivations and like the fight or flight instinct and them type of things.
I would and that like this made me think about like what I read in a book, and the book was talking about like how like men have like these tendencies like to still hunt and like look for like
prey.
Not prey, but like look for like
a form of prey
or suitable like female and stuff. And like it would be very interesting to like see like someone do like a very mass like research to see like what is the effects of someone that has like a lot of testosterone, for example, and what the effect that has on the mind, and how more focused he could be, or how less more focused he could be, depending on how much testosterone.
Focus on what though?
No, just in general, like what does those effects cause? Because we do know,
there's been a lot of theories and stuff like this that testosterone is linked to aggression, and it's why men are more like the approachers versus women being the person who normally gets approached. Like all of these things supposedly it's not necessarily like hard fact or undisputable fact, but there's certainly like theories kind of that higher testosterone levels, like dudes working out in the gym because you don't know that getting the endorphin rush and all these things can lead to testosterone boost. Like the more muscles you have and shit like that, there's a certain link to that, and kind of like the rush or the high you get after exercising and different things like that. It's people kind of link the two in a way, like the sex drive and whatnot. Like dudes might feel hornier after a good workout and shit like that.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I don't know.
Cause like, I don't know, like even like with this is going to go in very dark territory, but even like with all the like the mass killers and stuff like that, like serial killers, like all of them are men, mostly.
I actually was told a very interesting something that's also a bit tense, but the medical profession in general is more catered to men than women. If you think about it, because all the tests and the experiments and stuff like that was used on male bodies. So the makeup of the medical profession is more catered to men. So that's why so many women that still die during operations and shit like that.
Same way you're phrasing weird. There's a bias in medicine and research and how it's done, and that's more of what he's saying. Cause the way he's saying it sounds as though like it's only men work in the field or something.
Oh, no.
Dominate the field in a working sense.
I mean, I definitely communicate that.
But I get what he's saying, and it certainly is true because.
And this is why I was told from like nurses.
But at the same time, when you look at like contraceptives,
look
and
at what a
stuff
vibrator is, like the actual history of the vibrator. Like, it's a crazy thing. It was used to treat hysteria in women. Like at a certain point, if your woman is in her feelings, let's put it, I guess nicely,
and tell her use it vibrator.
It was a legitimate medical thing. It wasn't none. It was like a psychological tool, basically. Like that's the origin of the vibrator, because you use this thing on her and she's calm now. Like she's in a bad attitude or she upset, she cussing and whatnot. Hysteria. In order to treat the hysteria, use a vibrator. That is the origin of where the shit come from. All of this is part of like examples of how the bias in the medical industry. We don't research women, or we just use a lot of assumptions based. Like I forget what it was I was reading. It was basically saying that the female body is men with all the with extra complications or some shit like that. Like they just kind of assume that the way they just use men as a reference, even when it's dealing with sexual things, when it's like you don't have these things.
It's completely different, not completely different anatomy, but a different anatomy.
Yeah.
So that's where I was more going for. King was right. I didn't phrase that properly, but I find that's when I was told that, I was like, wow, I had never think of that, and that's tense.
And it's even worse when you get to like racial and stuff like that, because the same assumption that women is just a man with some slight differences is like white people or black people is just white people with some slight differences, or like a darker skin.
A darker pigment.
Although at certain points in time there was a whole lot of pseudoscientific research done studying like skull sizes and different things that kind of was the basis for a lot of racist rhetoric at the time, to show that because the skulls is either bigger or smaller of a white versus a black person, these things indicate mental inferiority or superiority and all kind of nonsense like that was created in times before people really got a good grip on like science. There was all kind of crazy shit that been happening in the medical field.
Yeah, and just because we was talking about how tense women have it sometimes, that when I heard that, I was like, "Boy, that's." and that's King blowing his nose.
I mean, they can't see it. They know. You turn off your mic?
they could
hear.
But no, okay. Since we kind of on a dark topic anyway. What I was talking about this before we had started to record, and I just wanted to hear our opinion if I find it's true. I think this was before you had come in, so it's still thing. So according to this post somebody had do on Facebook, every dude has 3 to 5 rape bodies. And by rape body, this person saying that girls who repeatedly told you no, but you won't stop, so she gave in, or girls who are absolutely messed up to the point changing the mental state, so like drunk, high on drugs, whatever, and yeah, so that's what they call rape bodies.
I don't ever.
Like, I know it's gonna seem like a whataboutism as it's often referred to, but what about females in terms of how many rape bodies they have? Because I get that some of it is certainly true. Like we was kind of talking about it off air before we started. Like there is a lot of toxic practices in a way that is kind of being instilled in men or have been instilled in certain men. I can't speak for all. I know me, different people in my area and the same environment and stuff like that. We don't always learn the most healthiest ways of engaging in women. Simple example is the asexy, for example. Not everybody appreciates. Some women don't mind it. Some find it about or something.
I have yet to ever see a girl respond to that.
To me, I only do it with chicks that I know and kind of like a joking type of way. Like, I ain't really trying to psst you. Exactly. It's just like, if I know you my friend. Hi. Like,
if I know you and I know I'm gonna piss you off, I gonna do it for spite.
Yeah, that's how.
But that's just me being an asshole.
That's how it is.
But like, once they see who it is, if I go and they turn around,
exactly. People that do that don't get pussy, dog.
That's what you would think. That's what you would think. My logic has always been.
But so much fellas doing it. It must work with somebody.
And this is what I'm saying. I've spoken to females.
I've never seen it work.
I've never seen it work. That's what I'm saying.
I've never seen it work either.
I've spoken to females who was like, I like the psst or the hey sexy.
I've never heard that.
Me neither.
I've never heard that.
It depends what women you're talking to. Is this the chick that has 1 million followers on Instagram who hears every day how pretty she is? Yes, she definitely tired of hearing the hey sexy and wants to be complimented on her personality. But if you're talking to the average chick who doesn't look and have the light skin, curly hair, whatever society deems like the pretty person or whatever, these people kind of do appreciate it when they do hear it. Because these is real conversation. You can tell me.
King.
When I'm telling you, I ain't making this up.
I understand what you're saying, right? But let's talk, because now we have females to talk about pretty and ugly.
Females get judged on looks. Females want to feel, every female wants to feel pretty.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, especially now, I don't know what's going on, but Biggs, if you're pretty or you're ugly, if you have just something that a person likes, they will hail you up. There's a reason why in Rotterdam they made it a rule: if you're gonna do that fuck, you might get locked up or you might get a fine. It's a problem.
Because these is people that don't know. But what I'm telling you is, there are some people who don't experience that.
I mean,
who is like is on their everyday life. They ain't nobody pissing them and telling them they sexy. So when it does happen, they appreciate it.
I mean,
this is all I'm saying.
The logic would kind of substantiate that, because I mean, billions of people in the world. There got to be some
dudes usually think of females from the pretty girl perspective. That's just what it. So when they think because guys like normally do the approaching when it comes to like opposite sex and whatnot. I've explained this theory many times before. Usually, guys' friends might be the attractive female because that's the person that, if I don't know you, I can't approach you based on your personality. So I'm going to approach you based on physical attraction, what I can see, and then as I get to know you, either we're going to get together or you're going to be like, okay, well, I ain't feeling you like that, whatever, and you're a friend now and stuff like that. So you have pretty friends, and these is the kind of people that men tend to think from the perspective of the people, all the pretty friends, but the average chick, what about her opinion and how she feels and what's her experience? Because the pretty chick, they're gonna be like, I tired of dude in my DMs, or I tired of dude me, or I don't like it and this and that.
But I think trying to figure out what is like,
I was gonna say,
the average chick is still a good looking chick.
The chick who doesn't have 5,000 followers on Instagram, and like that's an example. It's an example.
200 followers and still get hit and all of that stuff.
He's talking about the chick that doesn't get approached like other chicks do.
There's a lot of things that society has deemed as like I've talked about it before in terms of the European beauty standards and whatnot. What is deemed as pretty when you watch a TV series? Who is the chick that is cast as the object of attraction? Who's the girl, the pretty girl next door that everybody's fantasizing? If it's talking about black women, it's the light skinned black woman or the biracial black woman, light skin, curly hair types of things with smaller features that may not be the big typical African lips, the typical African nose. And I know it's a generalization. It's not true for everybody. Of course, there's dark-skinned girls who get love and or whatever are considered pretty and shit like that as well. But it's a generalization. When you look at Instagram, who's the chicks that tend to always post, there's a reason they post, because they get positive reinforcement to continue posting, because society tells them that they're pretty. All the likes and stuff that they're getting lets them know that I should be here, versus the girl that posts a pic and 3 people like it, she stops posting, or she ain't posting as much, or she not even on Instagram, because it's like they're looking for the perfect chicks, the chicks with the huge ridiculous Nicki Minaj ass that is actually natural and shit like that.
Yeah.
The chicks, the strippers in the club, like
The ones
the
who
people
twerk and
twerking.
all, yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
They're the ones that tired of niggas approaching them. Again, it's a generalization, but it provides a little bit of more of an example of the type of female I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I still don't think that type of female would still appreciate a random person while she walking.
But that's
She would. Because I've been told, so she would.
it depends on the girl. It depends on how the girl and the experience is. It's a case by case basis.
Especially in the Netherlands, because maybe my perspective is stuck in the Netherlands. Here in the Netherlands, when you walk in, the last thing a girl wants to encounter is a random man.
What females you hang around with? Woods? It does not just explain the scenario. I explain where the type of girls you would hang around with often, whether they're friends or girlfriend or anything, might be the prettier chicks because, like I said, guys tend to do the approaching or the initiation of conversation.
I can't say nothing with that.
Yeah, I think I'm just stuck on the feeling comfortable while walking home and stuff like that. It's not like when you see a girl walk, it doesn't matter how pretty she is, but if you just hail her up and like try to get a conversation, the first thing that goes into a girl's head is, what is this guy trying to do? It doesn't really go to, oh, like he thinks I'm cute. It's more of let me go in defensive mode because I don't know what's going to happen. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't get, like, I can maybe, like, yes, obviously some girls are going to like being held up, but especially in this day and age, like when that happens, they don't go to automatically I'm hot. It's more like, yo,
yeah,
what's going on?
But what you have to understand, both are you experiencing different females, and now I want to stop saying females, different girls that have different
question. Like, what girls you hanging out
different
with?
experiences on different things. Because
What
I just
girls
like
telling you what you hear?
I've never heard, and none of the girls I've been around, none of them have ever told me or I overhear them talking to other people saying
it's
that
not to
that
say they like to be they walking somewhere, some dude approach them, stop, they hold their hand and be like, hey, sexy girl.
No, but
because
like,
any girl in that situation feels scared.
Yeah, but
if
no,
I'm walking down the road and as a female, if I'm walking on the road or sidewalk or whatever, and a dude passing the car is like, psst, sexy, it's a different thing where I don't necessarily feel the same threatened because dude just passing. I just get the compliment. It's not the same level of fear attached to it if it's like I'm walking home at night and a dude following me and he like, psst, sexy. That's a completely different situation.
Yeah, but still, nobody ever, and I would like to, no, I do have a good bit of female friends. I do hang around a good bit of girls.
I've talked to you about the type of females you tend to hang out with before.
Yo, it's not my fault.
I pointed it out. I'm not saying... no, don't say that. Because, again, we get back to the same question I'd asked you in that conversation. How... Because you was like, most of the people you know is like light skin or whatever. They look a certain way. And then I asked, and your thing was, they usually is the type who... the ones who respond to you. Those the ones that kind of show you vibes or whatever.
Yeah, but no, but I'm not talking, but right now I'm not talking,
we're talking about friends.
Yeah, I'm not talking about girls I'm interested in. I'm talking about like platonic friends. And I got a good bit of them that's pretty, that have I want nothing to do with them. So that's why I'm saying, when Woods was saying...
you still hanging out with a bunch of pretty girls, that's my point.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying too. When Woods was like, what do you find as pretty? I was like, I can't really go into that because all my female friends are gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't, but that's the thing, like some people would then make the argument, yeah, but I don't find her pretty, but then
that's true too.
Subjective.
That's the thing.
That's why I use the typical, generally society, what society usually defines as pretty.
But again, my whole thing is I never had a girl tell me that. So I don't know if it's because the ones I be around with maybe more on the pretty side, maybe. But I've never heard that, and I've never seen that thing actually work out. In my 27 years of life, I've never seen it work.
When I'm in a group and someone does that shit, I walk away, dog.
Yeah.
When someone does that shit in our group, I just like, yeah, you know what? You on your own.
What the hell? Don't say our group. None of us do that.
No, but just in like let's say we walk in and someone comes, because our group is a small group, and then we have branches that extend. They're not really part of the group, but
acquaintances. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
And when one of them does one of those things, I just walk away. Dog. I don't even want to be associated with you in that point.
Yeah, that's true. That is weird, but that to me, that's like you saying that girls actually say like, yeah, they like that and they respond to that. Like, that's a little mind blowing to me. I legit never heard that before.
Like I said,
I've heard that before.
Women are judged on looks. All women want to feel pretty. If I don't get told I'm pretty on a regular basis, like the pretty chicks or the.
So how are you feel it would be, or society in general, if it was
I
other way
just happy
around?
man don't have to wear makeup. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
No, not wear
That
makeup.
weird judge that looks.
No, but as in like women do the approaching, and it wasn't just like a male dominated society. So like how are you think society would be in general if it was the other way around?
It's difficult to imagine.
Yeah.
I used to always say I find the world would be a better place.
I know.
It'd be less work for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Why? Why not? Yeah, but you see, you the type of fella you get approached by women in general. So, so let me ask you that. So how do you feel about it?
It must get annoying after a while.
Why not?
Yo, I don't know. You never feel comfortable, dog.
Like the fuck?
Let me explain. Like, remember the day we were in the lounge?
That was a lot of days.
Yeah, dog. Well.
And the random girl just came and started talking to me.
Oh, the German chick?
Yo, I introverted as fuck, man. I don't enjoy that.
But to me, as an introvert in a certain way, that's why you would enjoy that, because like I don't gotta go look. I'm shy. I am afraid to maybe make the first approach or something.
Don't like people approaching you. Period. Well, it depends on the level of introvertedness.
Me going out already is a big okay, I'm out, right?
It's a big
so
step.
I'm out.
That's a big
I'm not
step.
I'm not in a controlled environment. So I make sure I'm surrounded by people I trust. So that's my controlled environment, right?
Okay.
So when someone just approaches me and catches me off guard, I am not feeling happy any type of way, dog. If I'm not drunk, because when I'm drunk, I'm not introverted anymore. I'm extroverted. I'm a different person.
Take away inhibition.
Me too.
Yes.
And to me, this is one of those conversations that kind of does provide an example, because, like, okay, obviously Woods is one of the pretty girls. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, he's a guy,
but that's why. But
he's
that's
one
why
of the
I
pretty girls, and it's like,
but then you know what?
If a chick approached me,
Woods is a pretty girl.
But this is a funny scenario.
Okay, let's pause.
if a chick approaching me, my response is different because I'm happy. I would be like more open to it and more receptive to it.
Nah, I
don't like the whole approaching chicks and all of that. So if you approaching me,
I would be
like,
I would be skeptical.
I might be that as well.
That's fine.
But still,
But
I'm
that's why-
appreciative because she's showing interest.
That's why
Regardless,
I
even if
find
I'm
it
not interested,
interesting.
I take it as a compliment. Oh, you think I'm cute or whatever enough to come talk to me, or something about me made you interested to come talk to me.
The first 5 minutes of the conversation in my head, I'm like, yo, what you come here for?
I'll be thinking that too.
Okay, let me tell you a story. I completely forgot about this. So 3 weeks ago, right? I was playing in Curious, and a girl came up to the podium to ask me for a song request. So she called me in like, "Hey, can I get a song request?" I said, "Okay." So I went to lean in to listen to what this girl is going to tell me. She licked my face.
You see, that's some different shit. See, that's some different shit right there.
That's
Like,
different.
I ain't want nobody licking my face.
Nah.
I didn't hear this story.
Like, even like thinking about it now, even if my own woman lick my face, I'd watch it.
Don't lick my face, dog. Don't lick my face. What you doing?
A random person, I agree. I get where you're coming from. To me, that's not
But that's
approaching. That's
extreme.
assault.
Yeah, that's extreme.
That's assault. It literally is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine you kind of going up to some chick you don't know,
And
lick her face. What the reaction gonna be? Me too, move it. That's what it be.
Man will probably whipping off a bunch of makeup off your tongue.
Wait, why I had to be the one to?
Because you know the thing is, that this is why I'm reacting like
That
this.
should only happen to you,
'Cause-
boy. Jesus Christ.
Yo,
Because
Jay.
if the
DJ.
tables were flipped, how many people would be licking my face at?
But you see, but why I ask that question, because it's a little interesting, because like, for instance, somebody like me, I never used to be that fella. Like, I used to always envy fellas like you, straight up, like high school and a month. I used to always
Like, you like me now? What the hell are you talking about?
Shh, this is not the point I'm trying to make.
Talking about back in the day.
Back in the day, I used to all
Shout
and I
out to
know
all
I,
like popular guys.
screw that. I still not that. I still not that. That's not the point. We're not going there
Shout out to all
now.
you popular guys.
My whole thing
I'm
is,
in a
envy y'all's
relationship.
life.
I used to really envy.
I'm also married to
maybe
extent.
even to a certain extent now.
Aisha Curry.
Kind of envy man like you, because like for some reason you the type of fellas, girls are like
They just
feel like
gravitate towards.
you're approachable.
I'm not. But I feel like till this day I don't understand
Let
why.
me go in the club, look at you and look at me.
Yep.
Who's going to be the more approachable one? Let's be real now.
Yeah, but
Wait, based on
No,
what?
no,
But that
but
is more-
nothing.
Appearance, the way they dress in,
that
the
is more the way I
personality and how
dress
they
than
vibe in
anything
the
else,
club.
I think.
I think it's a combination of all of this. Kana is going
the
to be
way I
posted up on the
dress is-
wall forever. Like Kana's move in the club is he's posted up on the wall. type
In the
of
back
thing.
where I could see people.
You are a more of a. You call yourself introverted? I disagree.
Me?
I understand. What's it talking about? I understand you yourself could feel introverted because in a way it's a similar thing with me. People don't feel that I am introverted in a way, but I kind of do. So I get the discrepancy in sometimes where the view isn't necessarily how you feel. But you're not introverted in my opinion.
It's a spectrum.
Nah,
of course.
he is. I would say I've been in enough situations to see it for myself. I would say that he is. But what I was actually thinking to, it's funny because
I think it's just the way I dress. Because when you look the way I dress,
could be
because I
could
dress
be
very
true.
colorfully, and that's where people. The way I dress seems very approachable. I dress like an extroverted person.
Yo, here peacocking.
I dress like a model.
To me,
that's how I dress.
Even necessarily like that. Yeah, like that's to me. I would say that that's part of it, but it's also just Kana dresses like a dude from the hood in St. Martin.
but that's
Not necessarily comparing, saying that you dress like a model or anything, but just from an approachable standpoint. If the majority of people in this country is white people, and these the people that I'm assuming, white girls, is who I'm assuming approaching you. Who is the person that looks like you'll be more comfortable to as a white person? Who looks less scary? Let's just put it that way. The nigga who people tell they look like Snoop Dogg and shit because he's baggy clothes, his baggy hoodies and shit like that, or the person who is wearing like the pea coats and the. You dress a complete different way than Kana. You dress a lot more European type of style than Kana does. If I'm thinking from a European mind, you look like you have more in common with me than Kana does. Just on a first glance type of thing.
And especially with the conversation we just had about the women feeling safe and all the potential fuck shit that could happen to them.
Exactly. Who's the criminal? You's the criminal.
Yeah.
Not you would.
Yeah. I just one day just walk on the other side of the road.
So basically what you're telling me is if I don't want people to lick my face, I have to dress like Kana.
Just like a hood nigga.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it goes back to what I was saying, that man like you, I used to always envy because like, wow, the girls used to always come up to you and things like that. I the type of fella like your mother said, like, yeah, he have a nice personality. That was me. That was me growing up. Like it was never one of those. I was never one of those. Oh yeah, but all the fellas want and them fellas, all the girls want them kind of shit. You check. So I used to always envy man like you, but now
honestly,
it's like
I was not like this when I was in Aruba. No.
To me, I was like this.
So he was more extroverted or
no. I mean, I was not that type of person when I was still living on the island.
That chicks wasn't approaching like that.
Yeah, even when I was a DJ. But
I find that hard to believe. Exactly. The fact that you have to go and think about it, I find that hard to believe.
No, like,
not necessarily. Like,
I think
in Aruba, do you feel based on the general population in Aruba and what's the beauty standards? I don't know if Woods being a dark skinned dude in a country where it's like light skin and
I think,
kind of closeness
the
to whiteness.
The Mario would be more of the thing, but still, but his profession and that little bit of power of being a DJ,
I feel you.
That's why I find that hard to believe.
Not to say I think you're unattractive or anything like that. That was what I was trying to say.
Don't be talking about who attractive and who not attractive.
Hey, it's okay. It's 2020, okay? It's 2020.
Exactly.
You can be comfortable with your sexuality and say another man. But
fun fact. I was talking with my girlfriend yesterday, and it just catch me like I was watching The Office, and I noticed that Idris Elba is also like used to be in it, and I never knew it was him. And then I said, "Hey, this man just got older and became way more good looking now that he's older than when he was younger." And then I was like, did I just?
but it's funny, it's especially in the Caribbean how fellas this guys giving other fellas compliment.
Yeah.
So you can't say I can't go up to King and be like, boy King, you look good today. Nah, be like, boy you sharp man, what going on? Boy, what be like you that girl? Them kind of dumb fuck.
You a hoe, that's the compliment. You a hoe. You got all of them. Like, I would try to get like you. You got all of them.
Yep.
All these hoops you have to jump over to get a compliment to come out.
Just to say you're looking decent today, or you're looking sharp, or I can't even say I can't bring myself to tell another man that you look good.
Fault,
it's not
so you looking like a hoe.
Yeah, or smelling like instead of saying yeah, boy.
That's a nice cologne.
You smell good or that nice cologne, that boy. How you smell like such a hoe? Or how you smell like you going Carlito Road?
You know who said that to me the first time? I think it was Ja. Yeah. And I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I never heard of one before.
How you smell like you going to Casablanca? Like what?
Listen, the way that you compliment Ebenezer is you can never accept me the hoe. You have to brush it off and let this man know he's the bigger hoe, and I try to be like, that's a conversation now. That's just how we do. We might have particular designation of hoe names. This one was Angel hoe. This one was this kind of hoe. This one was that. Like, we took it further.
Yeah, it was a little because all
like a dude named Angelo, so his name was Angel hoe. Like the big angels that we did.
Undercover hoe, slay hoe, romantic hoe, God hoe.
This is what it was.
Okay,
Spanish.
You can't say God whore and Spanish what God whore is.
Why God whore was the most hoest,
the biggest one.
the God the most hoest of all the whores.
The King of Kings, the lot of lots.
The biggest whore.
The whore of hoes.
God whore and his disciples. The whores.
Jesus. The man was Jesus that. You know nothing about Jesus. I apologize, Jesus. I apologize to all the religious people that may not appreciate these type of jokes.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, look how I used to give compliments.
Is that?
But look at all the shit we have to say just instead of just saying no, I'm like, bye, yo, you smell good.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest.
Yo, I felt offended when Jean told me that. No, I was like, hey, you smell like a whore. I was like, yo, wait, what?
I see.
Well, no, that's a compliment. I don't say Martin South Yard. That compliment.
So y'all a bit older than me. For my generation, then it wasn't so bad. We could tell each other like, yo, you looking good
today. Why happened to your batty or nine?
Like, we wasn't that toxic.
Don't tell me I look good today. Still to this day, don't tell me I look good. Like you as a man.
You could be like looking clean. The shoes looking clean.
Fly maybe. Don't tell me I'm looking good. Fly could still work or something like that. You swag on point. Something like that. Don't tell me I'm looking good.
This is why I'm trying to bring up. It's the same shit we saying.
I know. The meaning is the same.
But just because certain word, but as much as I saying this, making it seem like, oh yeah, men, you gotta find a different way. I do the same thing. I can't find myself to say like, why was you not good today though?
Yeah,
I can't.
In my brain, it does go too far. But to me, like when dudes love or heart my picture on Facebook, I feel weird. For like, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
I used to, but
I always, in my mind, there's always like a second thought of like, do I want to, if it's a dude picture on Instagram, do I want to like it? Like if it's just a picture of a dude, like I do not like.
Last year I get over that.
I don't like. I read. If you look through my likes in general, it's way more females that get likes than dudes. Because I always feel like only as a dude that I know that I'm like personally friends with and stuff like that, I might like the pictures. But in general, I don't like pictures of men.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, on that. But like,
I don't really
like one
mind
of your pictures. I might like, or one of like Wood's pictures. I might like, but in general, it's not.
If it's a random fellow, like I can understand.
Yeah, but random people, like that's the thing. But like with,
you would like
Instagram,
a random female. That's the difference I'm making. Like
but I don't follow random, like people that I follow, like the people that I follow, I know. Like I don't follow people that I don't know. So it's people that I met.
Like, there's many people I follow. I still don't like the pictures because like we close friends.
With the hard thing, I understand that because I used to feel that way as well. But I catch myself trying to put myself out that stigma. Like for instance, my cousin, but maybe because this is family, but this is still a new song. This was still new something for me, family or not. A different man is a different man. I don't give a shit. But it reached to a point like one of my cousins just had a baby. And it was one of my close cousins, and I was like, yeah, he some picture he had put up, and I was like, yeah, blessings, cuz, and I put a hat. But like, that's family.
Felt the way about it still?
Yeah, I'd still feel the way about it, but I was like, after a while, then, what the fuck? That's my cousin, Judd. Like, if anybody want to say something, screw you and your beliefs, Judd.
And all that, like I was saying on last week episode, all of that is part of why I just feel away when my brother hug me. Like, when I do see him and he coming for a hug, it's like, you a man. I'm not supposed to hug you. I don't care if you're family. I'm not supposed to hug you.
Okay,
but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I'd hug everybody in my family. Shit, I'd hug some of my friends.
Females, yeah.
But even the male ones do. If you come for a hug, I mean, what the fuck that? Once you don't try to touch me, then it's alright.
I've hugged like some male friends and shit like that before. But, like,
I don't have a problem hugging me.
Because I mean, both of y'all are straight males. Like, what's
Yeah. I remember hugging.
We don't have this thing in our group. It was them, especially Kennedy. Kennedy be like, come, and you look like you want a hug. Come. And that fuck just be weird sometimes. But now I just us making a joke.
And the weirdest thing about it is like Kennedy just like oozes like this like calming like fatherly figure.
Yeah.
So like
it looks like he give good hugs.
You see, that comment is a little suspect. You see, as much as
That's why you tell me I look good, dog. Don't tell me I look good, dog. These comments got me kind of curious.
and I was trying to make it like as PC as possible, right? This man just took it to the next step away though.
We getting there, man. We getting there. We not completely progressive. We still got toxicness that we need to get through. There's still some toxicity.
Everybody needs to have a little bit of venom in them.
At least we could admit it, and it seemed like we making some kind of sense.
We heading in the right direction.
Because one, talking about this alone is a something called a lot of fella. This ain't a topic a lot of people that have. And two, talking about it in public. On that, we putting this online. I find out a different something as well. Okay. But that was a suspect comment. That was a little bit. So you have to pause after that one.
Did I?
You have to pause after that one.
I needed a no homo or pause.
Really?
No homo is too far. No homo is
you just say he's like he gives off this calm energy.
Yeah, but then you can't follow up with that comment though.
He look like he gave good hugs.
Yeah, can I look like you want to get a hug from me?
Yeah.
Like if I sighed and you look, if I sat and you say you look like you need a hug, I go in for the hug.
You know what? I can respect you for admitting that. I respect you for admitting that.
It like make me feel better.
Don't feel you. I feel like this is a good place to end on this episode. Talking about hugs and all of that. We approaching an hour and people got places to go.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie, this was a fun episode. I was sick, so I was kind of curious on how this was gonna go and all of that, but I definitely enjoyed this episode.
Man, and you know what? I mean, I probably shouldn't put this out there for the people, but like we had no topics for today. We
was fully prepared.
Yeah, this is completely on the fly. But this is the classic link up. Like this is us by now. So
this is what happens.
In terms of toxicity, I think like we used to be black mambas, but now we garden snakes.
Okay. Yeah, but that's still they completely non-toxic though.
Yeah,
like, we still got some.
I still got angle. I thought
so. Garden snakes don't have like a small dose of going to kill rats.
I don't think so. Then constrictors.
Yeah, to my knowledge, is like non-toxic.
I didn't know that.
Non-venomous
I mean, constricting is also kind of
alright. So we'll say we be a B or something. We used to be a black man, and now we are like a
I learned something today with that whole vibrated thing. So I mean, hey,
but if Google this shit like it's an interesting story.
Medicine back in the day, like if you look at like how just the bunch of nonsense they used to do. Like I recently saw a podcast that was just focused on that. I was like,
there was a philosophy in medicine where, for example, if you have an issue with your liver, you eat a flower or a fruit that looks like the liver, because the theory is if it looks like that, it's supposed to be, or like for your eyes, you would eat maybe cherries or something that look like an eye. Or like,
hey, we come
that
a long
was the
way.
logic.
Yeah, we come a long way.
And I was gonna make a comment like, why buy people was stupid, but I know like in 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now, people gonna be looking back saying the same shit about us. Maybe not so, maybe like hundreds of years.
They used to like use advertise Clorox as a good way to clean a woman's vagina or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
You trying to kill our cleaner?
Jesus.
What's the goal?
No. We're not going into that because then we're going to go further.
I hope the listeners enjoy this episode as much as we did.
Well, it was Listerine, one of those, but
Either way, I would appreciate everybody from taking through the whole hour again. We was trying to go for 45 minutes, but again, classic link up. It went to an hour.
It was a good conversation.
15 minutes more.
So, but it was interesting. It was entertaining. Again, big ups everybody that has listened, share, like, promote, comment, all that kind of stuff. We really appreciate all you, but we'd like all you to comment now. Yes, we're going in stages. Now it's time to comment. And as well, if you have any topics you'd like us to talk about, oh crap, somebody wants us to talk about polygamy.
The next episode.
I just remember that. But as for the next episode, and I actually had an interesting conversation and an interesting viewpoint from a girl about that. We could do that for next week.
We got a girl next week too. So
hey,
Calissa should be back.
So if you have any topics you want us to talk about, you can don't hit us up privately. put it on the link up, either whether it's the YouTube page or
IG
or Facebook. Just hit us up, and then we most probably will get to it. So yeah, again, we appreciate the support and everything, and yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. So if unless anybody got anything else to say,
No.
I wanted to steal your outro, but nah.
No.
I'm not get aggressive now.
If you steal it, what am I here for? It's all I have left, you know. But anyway. I apologize for that, but we'll see y'all the next time we link up. When I'm not sick and shit, hopefully.
Hopefully. Bless.
Peace. To the next time.
I'm from a place that's split up in two sides. One Dutch and one French, but they both still fly. Wonder why I rip it, there's no need to ask why. It made me who I am, and that ain't no lie. I'm from a place that's split up in two sides. One Dutch and one French, but they both still fly. Wonder why I rip it, there's no need to ask why. It made me who I am, and that ain't no lie. I'm from a place where the sun stays shining. Lot of different cultures and a lot of fine dining. Used to be Swaliga when we were salt mining, but the name changed when the Europeans chimed in. I'm from a place that you want a vacation, that runs on island time, so you gotta be patient. I'm from a place where the beach is real white and the water's so clear you gon' question real life. I'm from a place where they ask what you looking at. Say the wrong thing, they gon' make you wish you took it back. Walking down the road, every minute you be looking back, cause it's a small island, it ain't hard to get somebody clap. I'm from a place where they got real poverty. In every other corner you can find a Robbie's lottery. But at the same time, there's a lot of signs of wealth. Mega yachts in the lagoon and 5-star hotels. I'm from a place that's split up in two sides. One Dutch and one French, but they both still fly. Wonder why I rip it, there's no need to ask why. It made me who I am, and that ain't no lie. I'm from a place that's split up in two sides. One Dutch and one French, but they both still fly. Wonder why I rip it, there's no need to ask why. It made me who I am, and that ain't no lie. I'm from a place where there's positives and negatives. Could end up in the back zipped up, no matter how you live. From a place where they call them savages. Teaching people man must be a sport the way they practicing. I'm from a place where there is a lot of talent, but not that much support, so making it's always a challenge. I'm from a place where I made some great memories. Made a lot of friends and I made a couple enemies. From a place where the people jump to soca soon as the rhythm drop, I think y'all them bending over. I'm from a place where there's lots of potholes and you gon' need new shocks if you don't know where you're going. I'm from a place that I love and call home. Can't wait to go back and take my place on the throne. I'm from a place better known as St. Martin. If you're wondering after this, then it means you're hiding. I'm from a place that's split up in two sides. One Dutch and one French, but they both still fly. Wonder why I rip it, there's no need to ask why. It made me who I am, and that ain't no lie. I'm from a place that's split up in two sides. One Dutch and one French, but they both still fly. Wonder why I rip it, there's no need to ask why. It made me who I am, and that ain't no lie.